Archangel Michael says. You rose from bed, hesitant at first. Something in you wanted to ignore it, to roll over and go back to sleep. But that same inner pull, subtle yet insistent, wouldn't let you. Get up. Look outside. When you reached the window and parted the curtains, your breath caught. Across the street, just barely visible under the dim orange glow of the streetlight, stood two figures. They weren't just walking by. They were facing your house, cameras in hand. They moved in perfect unhurried sync. One raised a camera, adjusted the lens, and clicked. The sound was faint but unnerving, like a clock ticking down toward something unknown. The other bent slightly, angling for a different shot, as though they were collecting evidence, not just casual photos. Something in their posture was wrong. They weren't sightseeing. They weren't neighbors. They didn't wave or glance away when you noticed them. They kept going, as if you weren't even there. And then, that voice. Strong. Calm. Deep. Archangel Michael's voice cut through your confusion. What they are doing is not ordinary. And it is not harmless. The street seemed to grow quieter. Even the air felt heavier. You could sense that these were not random strangers, they were connected to something. The way they lingered, focusing on your doorway, your windows, even the smallest corners, was deliberate. Michael's tone sharpened. You are under observation, not in fear, but in destiny. But I will not let them complete what they came to do. A chill ran up your spine, not because you were alone, but because you knew you weren't. You could feel eyes on you from beyond the natural world. These weren't just people with cameras. Something else, something unseen, was standing with them, whispering instructions. And for the first time, you realized, these moments, these images, were being recorded for a reason that had nothing to do with curiosity, and everything to do with you. The sound of the camera shutter clicked again, each one a reminder, this was a countdown. And the clock had already started. Type Amen 0984 to divine blessings. Archangel Michael says. By morning, the memory of those figures outside your home still lingers in your mind like an unsettling dream you can't shake off. You tell yourself maybe it was nothing, maybe you misread it. But deep down, you know better. It's midday when the real shock comes. A message arrives from someone you know, someone who works quietly, who notices things others miss. They send you a single image, a photograph of your home, taken from across the street. Your heart skips. It's the exact angle you saw the night before. But what freezes your blood is not the picture, it's the text beneath it. The file name. At first, it looks like random numbers and letters, until your eyes focus. It's your full birth date. Day, month, year, down to the exact order. And then, following it, a single, cryptic word in capital letters. You read it again, just to be sure you're not imagining it. The word doesn't match anything obvious. It's strange, almost ceremonial in tone. And for some reason, seeing it makes you feel like it's calling you, as though it was chosen specifically for you to find. A shiver ripples through you. This wasn't chance. Nobody stumbles onto your birth date and attaches it to a random image. This was intentional. Deliberate. You hear Michael again, his voice strong and urgent. They know more than you think, but heaven knows more than they do. This is not just about your home, it's about your name, your identity, and the time you have stepped into. Suddenly you remember, names and numbers have power. In the spiritual realm, they are not just labels, they are access points. The enemy has been known to mark, track, and attempt to alter destinies by attaching a person's name or life details to an object or record. And yet, Michael's tone shifts from warning to reassurance. Do not be afraid of what is written, for the one who has written your true name in the book of life has authority over every false record. What they name, I can rename. What they claim, heaven can reclaim. You can almost see it, the file stored somewhere, maybe on their device, maybe uploaded elsewhere. But in the spirit, that file name is like a label glowing with supernatural tension. It is a marker, one meant to track you. But Michael stands like a blazing sentinel beside it, sword drawn, already intercepting what was meant for harm. Still, the fact remains, someone out there is recording not just your image, but attaching it to you in ways you never gave permission for. And the mystery deepens with a burning question in your heart: what does that strange word in the file name mean? Type Amen 4909 to divine blessings. Michael whispers, you will find out soon, but when you do, it will reveal both the danger, and the deliverance already on its way. Archangel Michael says. The clock ticks louder. Whatever is unfolding has already begun, and you're at the center of it. You keep staring at that strange file name, your birth date, followed by that one haunting word. You can't help but feel it's a clue, but to what? The sun is dipping toward evening when you hear Michael again. His voice doesn't just enter your mind, it fills the room like a warm wind against your skin. Child, you are asking the right question, he says. Why? Why would they risk being seen? Why would they make it so personal? It is because they were not simply sent to watch, they were sent to gather. The word gather echoes. You picture them again in the street, their cameras moving with precision, not just capturing random shots, but documenting specific points, the front door, the windows, the garden path, even the small brass plaque by the gate. Evidence, Michael continues. But not the kind that will be shown in a human courtroom. They are collecting fragments, both physical and spiritual, of the territory you inhabit. They seek to build a case in the unseen realm. A case? Against you. Michael reveals more. The ones who sent them believe that something connected to you, something in your home, or even something in your own spirit, is tied to a prophecy, a promise, or a spiritual inheritance. And they fear it. This isn't the fear of a petty rival. This is the fear of someone who knows that if you step fully into your calling, what they've built will crumble. Type Amen 4905 to divine blessings. This isn't the fear of a petty rival. This is the fear of someone who knows that if you step fully into your calling, what they've built will crumble. Type Amen 4905 to divine blessings. Your mind races. Could it be an old object you own? A journal? A family heirloom you barely think about? Or is it you, your voice, your prayers, your presence, that holds the key? Michael doesn't answer directly. Instead, he says something that chills you. They believe they are finding information. But the truth is, they are fulfilling the very prophecy they wish to prevent. Every photo they take brings the moment of your unveiling closer. For a moment, you imagine them back at their headquarters, scrolling through the pictures, whispering about that strange word in the file name, debating what to do next. You realize they may not even understand the full weight of what they are doing. They're pawns in a much larger game. And here comes the most unexpected twist. Michael leans closer, his presence blazing, and says, "One of them is already questioning the mission." Your breath catches. Someone in their ranks has a crack in their loyalty. They've seen something, or felt something, that doesn't match what they were told. Archangel Michael says. Michael leaves you with this. The truth will come to you soon, and it will come through the one you least expect. When it does, you will understand why they chose you, and why heaven has already chosen to protect you. The motive is no longer a mystery. You're not just being watched. You're being targeted, because you're about to become something they cannot control. The evening air feels heavier than usual. Shadows stretch long across the floor, but the tension you feel isn't from darkness, it's from light. The kind of light that draws attention, both welcome and unwelcome. Type Amen 767 to Divine Blessings. Michael's presence grows stronger, and his voice takes on a tone that's both protective and urgent. Your home, he says, is not just a shelter of brick and wood. It is a spiritual territory, marked, blessed, and resonating beyond what you see. You pause, letting that sink in. Could a place really carry that kind of energy? Michael explains. Every word of prayer you've spoken here, every tear shed in trust, every act of faith, they have left a spiritual imprint. Your dwelling now emits a light that is visible in the heavenly realm, and to those who walk in the shadows. The thought sends a shiver down your spine. Without realizing it, you've turned your home into a beacon. It's why the atmosphere here feels different, it's why people sometimes comment that they feel peace the moment they step inside. But it's also why the two strangers were drawn to it. They are not here because of your possessions, Michael says firmly. They are here because of what surrounds you, what shields you. Suddenly, a memory comes, the times you prayed in that small corner near the window, the verses you spoke aloud in the kitchen, the worship music you let fill the air. None of it was wasted. It soaked into the very walls. But here's the unsettling part, while angels see that light and are drawn to protect it, adversaries see it and are drawn to challenge it. That's the real reason for the photographs. They're trying to map your spiritual territory. Type Amen 994 to Divine Blessings. Michael continues. In the unseen realm, light is not static, it expands. What has been entrusted to you is growing, and so is the resistance. But take courage, the stronger the light, the weaker the grip of the enemy. You picture the two strangers again. They thought they were taking photos of bricks and glass, but in reality, they were standing before a fortress cloaked in fire. Their cameras couldn't truly capture the essence of your home, but the attempt alone reveals their intent, to find a way in. Michael's voice rises like a command. They will not succeed. They cannot document what heaven has consecrated. You glance around your home with new eyes. Every room feels different now, like sacred ground. The couch where you sat through sleepless nights, the table where you broke bread with friends, the doorway where you greeted guests, all of it holds spiritual weight. Archangel Michael says. And suddenly, you understand why you've been feeling watched. They're not just interested in you. They're interested in the glow around you. Michael ends with a promise. The light in your home is a sign to heaven's army. We are already stationed here. They will not pass unnoticed. You're still processing the idea that your home radiates light in the spiritual realm when Michael's tone changes, no longer only warning, but now infused with authority. Before you even saw them, he says, heaven had already seen them. Before they took their first step toward your street, the order for your protection had been issued. You picture those two figures in the night, thinking they were alone, hidden by shadows. But Michael pulls back the veil in your mind, and suddenly, you see a different scene. Above your home, a ring of light like a dome, pulsing gently. Around the perimeter, massive angelic sentinels stand guard, each holding a sword that burns without consuming. Their eyes are fixed on every movement, every whisper, every intent of those who come near. Child of light, Michael continues, not a single image they took shows what matters most. The true covering of your home is invisible to their devices. No lens can capture the covenant mark that heaven has placed upon you. The thought stirs something deep in your chest. While you were wondering what they might do, heaven was already working on what they couldn't do. Michael shows you a vision of their camera's memory card. You watch as in the physical realm, it stores plain photographs, but in the spiritual realm, the images distort. Angles blur, colors warp, and anything truly sacred in the frame glows so brightly it erases itself. Type Amen 768 to Divine Blessings. Every plan they form is intercepted, Michael says. Every weapon is disarmed before it can reach you. And every record they try to keep will be used as evidence, against them. For a moment, you think of Psalm 91, of the promise that angels are commanded to guard you in all your ways. This feels exactly like that. You realize now, protection isn't passive. It's active. It's surrounding you every moment. Michael's voice lowers, and his words feel personal. You have been preserved before you even prayed for preservation. Your safety is not a future hope, it is your current reality. Even their steps toward you were allowed only so heaven could turn their pursuit into their undoing. In that instant, the fear that had been curling inside you starts to unravel. The images in your mind change, you no longer see yourself as the watched, but as the guarded. Archangel Michael says. Then Michael says something that makes your pulse quicken. And yet, there is more. Not only are you protected, but someone on their side has already been moved to deliver the truth to you. It's the same hint he gave before, one of the two strangers is not fully aligned with the darkness they serve. And when they break silence, you will have what you need to see the enemy's plan completely exposed. The war is already turning in your favor. Type Amen 798 to Divine Blessings. Michael's voice lowers, and his words feel personal. You have been preserved before you even prayed for preservation. Your safety is not a future hope, it is your current reality. Even their steps toward you were allowed only so heaven could turn their pursuit into their undoing. In that instant, the fear that had been curling inside you starts to unravel. The images in your mind change, you no longer see yourself as the watched, but as the guarded. Archangel Michael says. Then Michael says something that makes your pulse quicken. And yet, there is more. Not only are you protected, but someone on their side has already been moved to deliver the truth to you. It's the same hint he gave before, one of the two strangers is not fully aligned with the darkness they serve. And when they break silence, you will have what you need to see the enemy's plan completely exposed. The war is already turning in your favor. Type Amen 798 to Divine Blessings. The night air feels sharper now, but not with fear, more like the edge of expectation. You sense something is shifting behind the scenes. Michael's voice comes again, steady and sure. The watchers you saw are not equal in purpose. One moves in full obedience to darkness, the other is already questioning why they were sent. You close your eyes, trying to picture them again. The taller one? The one who lingered before clicking the shutter? Or the one who seemed to glance toward your window just a little too long, as if searching for something, or someone? Michael reveals more. The seed of doubt was planted in them before they even arrived. Something in your presence, something they cannot name, has unsettled them. They will become the channel through which the truth flows to you. A strange image flashes in your mind, the two standing together afterward, reviewing the images. One looks satisfied. The other, hesitant, frowning slightly, as though something doesn't sit right. You see them delete a few shots when the other isn't looking. Then comes the startling revelation. Michael shows you what's hidden inside that mysterious file name. The cryptic word following your birth date. It isn't just a word. Embedded within the file's metadata is a symbol, one that doesn't appear to human eyes without specific tools, but in the spiritual realm it glows like a brand. It's an ancient mark used to signal that someone's life is under claim by a power they never agreed to serve. The enemy has been trying to attach that mark to you without your consent. Type Amen 8740 to divine blessings. But here's where the twist deepens. Michael smiles, a rare glint of triumph in his tone. Because this one doubts, they will bring the marked file to you. And when they do, it will become undeniable evidence, not of your vulnerability, but of your victory. For the mark they placed will be overwritten by the seal heaven has placed on you. Archangel Michael says. You see it, like a heavenly hand reaching into the file itself, removing the false mark and replacing it with a blazing gold emblem. What was meant to brand you becomes a signature of divine ownership. But Michael's warning follows close behind. Do not chase this person. Do not confront them before they are ready. The timing of their revelation has been set by heaven. You will know the moment, and when it comes, act quickly. In that moment, you realize, this isn't just surveillance. It's a spiritual chess match, and one of the opponent's own pieces is about to switch sides. The file name that once felt like a threat is now becoming a key. And when it turns, every locked secret behind this mission will swing wide open. Michael's presence feels closer now, almost as if he's standing in the room. His tone shifts into that of a commander addressing a soldier before battle. You have been shown enough to act, he says firmly. This is not a time to watch and wait in fear. This is the time to take your stand. The words settle over you like armor. You realize the enemy's plan isn't inevitable, it's interceptable. But only if you move with spiritual authority. Type Amen 394 to divine blessings. As he speaks, you see flashes, your home glowing so brightly in the spirit that it's impossible for darkness to approach without being exposed. You are not reacting, Michael reminds you. You are reclaiming. You are not defending as one cornered, you are defending as one who has already won. Then he adds a personal, almost tender directive. Do not let your heart become heavy. Do not dwell on their images of you. Dwell on heaven's image of you. For their lens sees only the shell, but heaven sees the fire within. A final warning comes before he departs. Once you have done this, be watchful. You will soon receive something unexpected, information, a message, a visit, that will confirm all I've told you. Do not dismiss it. This will be the turning point. You feel it in your bones, the battle is already tilting. The instructions aren't just rituals, they're declarations of territory, identity, and ownership. And with each one you complete, the Watchers lose ground. By the time you finish, you realize, you're no longer the observed. You've become the one who commands the atmosphere. The days that follow feel strangely quiet, like the calm after a storm, except you sense the storm hasn't ended, it's just shifted. You've done what Michael instructed. Your home feels different now, lighter, stronger, as though its very walls hum with invisible power. Then, it happens. A knock at the door. Not urgent, but hesitant. You open it to find one of the two strangers you saw that night. Their eyes avoid yours at first, their hands fidgeting as if they're not sure whether to be here. "I shouldn't be doing this," they say, voice low. They hand you something small, a memory card. The memory card. You need to see this before they do anything with it. And just like that, they're gone. Archangel Michael says. You stand in stunned silence for a moment before inserting the card into your device. The images load, frames of your home, your yard, your front door. But then, you notice it, the strange file name again, your birth date, and that cryptic word. This time, though, something's different. The symbol Michael described, the one embedded in the file, begins to shimmer faintly on your screen. You don't need special tools, you see it with your own eyes. And then, like ink dissolving in water, it begins to change. The dark, branded mark fades away, replaced by a golden seal, a crest of light so bright it seems to pulse with life. Type Amen 378 to Divine Blessings. You hear Michael's voice one last time, filled with triumph. What they meant for ownership, heaven has claimed for inheritance. What they marked for destruction, heaven has marked for destiny. This is your evidence, child, not of their power, but of my victory. You scroll through the rest of the images, and something astonishing emerges, subtle glows in the photos that weren't there before. Almost like silhouettes standing guard around your home. You realize these are not artifacts of the camera, they're traces of the angelic protection Michael spoke of. In the spirit, you see it fully, the two strangers no longer together. One has walked away from the darkness entirely. The other, bound by their own failed mission, unable to approach again. Archangel Michael says. The file name that once brought dread now feels like a banner of triumph. Your birth date, once used to target you, now declares the day heaven intervened openly. And the strange word? It now holds new meaning, one only you and heaven understand. Michael's final words are almost a whisper. Remember this, for it is not the last time you will be observed. But next time, they will see more than your home, they will see the fire that guards it. And as you close the device, you feel it, not just peace, but authority. The Watchers have been scattered. The mission against you dismantled. And the seal of heaven stands unshaken over you and your home. What began as surveillance has ended as a testimony. Type Amen 499 to Divine Blessings.